John, it's always good to have you on. I know these stories, we've talked about it. We were talking about the Queens, New York story yesterday, the Maryland story today. Of course, we've covered Georgia and Lake and Riley. You heard at the end of Evan's report, inevitably, this is political now to, who called, who didn't. What context, given your experience, would you put these high-profile stories of illegal immigrants being accused of terrible crimes here recently in?
Well, I think, Connell, look, no secret, we're in an election year, and obviously this kind of makes an argument for former President Trump that the border is a national and public safety issue, national security and public safety issue. Look, these are horrific offenses. They're shocking. It looks, based on the information available to us now, that this gentleman, the murderer here, snuck into the United States, kind of did a slightly different tactic than what we've been seeing. So he came across, he was apprehended by Border Patrol during Title 42. So at that point, he was pushed back into Mexico because the border was closed, at which point it appears that he entered the United States illegally, snuck into the country, evaded capture by the Border Patrol, got into the United States and did this horrific crime. Concerningly, he was wanted in El Salvador for a similar offense. And so I'm guessing, unfortunately, when he was interdicted by Border Patrol, that information wasn't available to Border Patrol. And if it was, he should not have been pushed back to Mexico, should have been instead detained in the United States.
Okay, so maybe that's something that was missed. The other thing on jurisdiction right now that I would have a question on came up when we were talking about the equally horrific story in Queens, New York yesterday. I had a member of the city council on, Joanna Ariola, who had some questions about who should be handling all of this. Let's listen.
He needs to be remanded, and he's here, but shouldn't he be in the custody of ICE? Shouldn't he be remanded by ICE and detained? Shouldn't he be deported for what he did?
What would you say, John, to those questions, again, about the suspect in Queens, New York, accused of raping a 13-year-old girl, as well as this suspect we're talking about in Maryland in the Rachel Morin case?
Well, kind of like both of these folks, they got to stand justice, right? They need to go to prison for what they did. They need to, the jurisdiction for that's going to be at the state level. ICE is going to then take custody of them and deport them. But look, I don't think this benefits any one of us to have these individuals walking the streets. And, listen, all of this is a byproduct of the situation at the border. Now, this Hernandez, the killer Morin, is not, he was not one of these individuals who was caught, made an asylum claim, and released. But he took advantage of the fact that our Border Patrol is just overwhelmed in dealing with those asylum seekers, right? It is easier to cross the border illegally and evade capture today because the Border Patrol is so tied up. Look, the federal government, this is a constant debate. What responsibility financially do they have to house these individuals? There are grant programs that Department of Homeland Security will make available, and money will flow to state and locals. But we're in an era when all of our resources are just overwhelmed by the situation at the border. But one last thing quickly. I mean, look, from a public safety perspective, candidly, we'd rather have these guys do a prison sentence in America where we know they're incarcerated than we would to deport them where there's a possibility to come back here or wreak havoc back in El Salvador.
Okay, to go back to your earlier point, if you're right, and this is really about the officials at the border just being completely overwhelmed and not being able to handle the numbers, aren't you effectively making the case for what many on the right have said, which is just let's close this border for now? We can't handle it. We need to completely close it, reassess, and give ourselves some time to figure out what's going on, and then come back at a certain time down the road.
Kind of look, it's just not that simple, right? I mean, effectively, that's what Biden's trying to do. Yes, there's a 2,500, kind of number, that threshold that needs to be hit first. But even then, there just aren't the resources. Look, what we need and what we need to get back to is where we have ICE being a true public safety agency, right? This guy, Hernandez, the murderer here, he had a criminal, he was wanted in El Salvador. He's the kind of guy that when I was at ICE, we really prioritized finding the at-large public safety threat. The guy who's not necessarily on the radar screens, who's not in our custody, but is in the communities wrecking havoc, right? That is a resource-intensive kind of work. You need to build relationships in communities. You need to get informants. You need to find the bad guys, who, again, before they're arrested for committing these horrific acts. The problem is we're just overwhelmed again with the situation at the border. Now, all I'm saying is quickly, we need to flood resources in there. Just saying the border is closed is insufficient. Heck, Hernandez was apprehended, my understanding is 2 to 3 times when the border was closed. all that meant was he was pushed back to Mexico, where he was able to cross into the United States unlawfully. We need Congress to act. We need money for ICE so that they can get repatriation flights. We need money for Border Patrol agents. We need money for immigration courts. We need money so that ICE can get back to what they do best, and that's protect public safety.
Now, all of that.
Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.